Alright, whenever you're ready.
I'm rolling.
Scott and Doug here for Patrician Music Reviews, here with Spencer from Fulham. I guess to start this off, Doug, I believe you had a question?
Yeah. What's your favorite movie?
I don't really have one. I don't watch a lot of movies. I have become partial to The Departed and Con Air. Con Air is one of my favorite movies as well. That's one of those movies that, like, as soon as it's on TV, I have to sit down and watch the entire thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I was going to use that to segue into, like, you guys have, like, a lot of, like, crazy imagery, and, like, I feel like every record you guys have put out has had, like, a different art style for, like, the album artwork. Is there anywhere, like, in particular that you guys get art from, or, like, look for, like, imagery or, like, stuff you want to do? Like, the noise tape you have, like, the face of the guy that, like, people share trees with. Like, is there anywhere in particular you can look for stuff like that?
With that tape, we just, like, we solved, like, that, like, urban legend or creepypasta or whatever it is, and just was like, oh, that's, like, a cool concept, so we're just like, let's put that on tape. But most of the time, we just take influence from, like, older death metal, grind, punk bands, psychedelic bands, industrial bands. Like, we just like stark imagery. We like you know, like gory imagery and stuff. You know, like we like to take nods from the music that we use and stuff.
Awesome. My question for you is, what kind of gear you use?
I use Orange amps like exclusively. Like I'm an ambassador for that company. But when it comes to guitars, right now I'm using my BC Rich Warlock that I got off of eBay about a year or two ago, and then a custom made, just original one-of-a-kind shape from the guitar player of this band called Cult Leader.
Okay.
He custom made me this guitar. Like, we both sat down and like emailed back and forth to each other like design ideas, like something metal looking, you know, just came out with its own original shape.
What pickups do you have? I remember we're friends on Facebook, whether or not you knew that, but you switched out the pickups. You weren't liking something about the ones that came with the side.
I forget the name of the company, but it was like a hot rail type pickup, which, you know, instead of like the screws in it that is like picking up the vibrations, it's like the rails. It was just too thin sounding. So I talked to Lace Pickups, and they gave me a deal, like an artist deal, so I put a lace dropping gate in it, which is basically an EMG, but without the battery, so it's still like that active, like thick metal tone, but I don't have to worry about the sound being changed by having like the battery, like the life of the battery die out and stuff like that. And with the Warlock, it's just stock pickups. It's like a cheap $180 guitar with the original pickups in it that are all rusty and beat up, but it just sounds so good to me that I don't want to switch it out.
That's awesome. And I know you guys like to do like wall and noise stuff, and I think you have the Lambert pedal, right? Like the octave drop. I also saw you have a couple of Boss pedals on your board. Like, those are modulations, right?
They're actually just stock. I just bought them from the store stock and put everything up as high as I can. And for the wall stuff, I usually the whammy pedal I have has like a dive bomb feature and a bass drop feature, but the dive bomb feature got smashed on the plane, so I can only use the bass drop. But I also use just the Boss bass distortion pedal and just turn everything up once I hit that. And the whammy pedal just pushes the speakers out like to the limit. So that's how we get the harsh and good.
Yeah. I also see, like, whenever I've seen you guys a couple times, you always have two orange heads. Are you running one into the other? Like, why are there two heads?
Just, I like the tone splice. I like to have one more of like a classic tone, like a more like mid-range or like a bassy tone almost. Whereas the other head I like to have high gain. Still thick and bassy, but just more like, you know, grinding.
Yeah.
Just more hot, I guess I would say. So.
Okay.
Yeah. So how's the tour going so far?
Oh, it's awesome. It's one of the craziest tours we have ever done, or probably will do.
How so?
I never thought we would be selling out, like, playing sold out shows at such big rooms. I mean, we still come from a very DIY background, so when we're playing like almost like mid-range clubs to like bigger clubs and selling out 450 to 500 people, just regular shows, not festivals, like that's like a new experience to us. We're usually playing like smaller clubs like St. Vitus or something, which is like a 200 cap ring. But last night in Austin was like a 600 cap ring.
Okay. Are you liking it?
Yeah,
It's a cool change of pace.
Yeah. I mean, I like doing both. I like playing house shows and I like playing like the bigger festivals or anything. I just like playing.
Yeah. When was the last time you guys played a house show?
It wasn't necessarily a house show, but about a month ago we played this place called the Meat Locker
In New Jersey.
Which is basically just like a punk venue, like, you know, very DIY. I forget the last house show, but it wasn't too long ago, probably in the last 6 months.
Yeah. I know. What is it? Jarhead Fertilizer, Dave's other band?
Yes.
They just did like a whole run. They probably did a couple house shows, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's so cool. Very cool that you guys haven't like, you know, wanted to leave that.
Yeah.
That's gonna. Is that gonna fuck with it? Let's see.
Where are you seeing the music going, like in the future? Like I feel like you guys have always had a dedication to like trying something new every time. Like, and with this last EP, the one that had the Melvins cover on it, I definitely felt like this was like the most definite thing you guys have done so far.
We already have 6 new songs for a new LP that we're recording in December. And I would say it's more old school death metal influence mixed with like discordance axis, chaotic type grindcore stuff. But we still want to add elements of like industrial. I would, like my ideal band is just to have something like almost like body-esque, but instead of like the body like being all like sludge or electronic music, I want to mix like industrial with just like super fast grindcore.
How was working with the body? That LP rips also.
Oh, thank you guys. It's cool. It's different. We just get thrown into it kind of thing. There was nothing was written as we went into the studio. It was basically all improvised. Like,
I've heard like a lot of what Ship and Lee do is like they just go to the studio and then like just whatever happens, and that's how they come up with their LP. So that's what you guys did?
it was basically like we would like say like me and Dylan would discuss like skeletons of the song. You know, like, oh, we would want like a more Godflesh influenced song or a noise grind song. And then we would have Lee come up with like an electronic drum beat, and then we would just add layers and layers and be like, oh, I have this cool riff that'll go with this. Or Dave would be like, I have this drum beat that can go with that. Or Dylan would be like, well, I have this concept of like noise or electronics go with that. And it just kind of built on top of each other like that.
And is this all in like the same room? Like you all kind of like play something like repeat it and then like it grows on its own, or is this like you would come up with something like at your house, email it to someone, or it was all right?
It was just all in the studio. We would sit in the booth and be like, okay, we got this idea. All right, go into the room and record it, and then they would be like, all right, I got this idea that can go into this. And we just built it on top of each other.
That's so cool. How long were you guys in the studio for? Like, how long was that writing process?
I think 4 or 5 days.
Just like straight
Yeah, just straight.
That's so
a lot
cool.
of just hanging out and eating pizza, and then in between that, recording and writing.
That's really cool.
If you had like a particular producer you would love to record with, who would it be and why?
I'm not too sure. Like, I don't like sit there and read the liner notes. I know the next LP recording is with Kurt Ballou, actually. We're going to go up to God City.
You were talking about him earlier.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah, he was awesome. We were like not like 100% sure on him at first, but just we heard like the new Sumac recordings and like other like I guess non-conventional like to his like sound kind of thing, and we're just like, okay, we should go to him.
Yeah.
I feel like he can accent our new sound and like give us ideas, and we also have never worked with an actual producer. We've actually, anytime we record, it's just we go into the studio, we have everything written, and like the guys are like, okay, I'll just record it. We wanted this time to like someone like an outside influence to be like, that sucks, that's cool, like add this.
Check this out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We've never done that before.
And like everything Kurt Ballou does, like the Black record you worked on, that Code Orange album, like Converge stuff, like it all sounds like very different. Like just from like a production, like he always has like a way of not like leaving his mark on what it sounds like. It all sounds like what it should sound like.
Yeah.
It's really, that's awesome. I'm very excited to hear that. Do you guys live track when you go to the studio, or do you record everything separate?
It just depends. Like if it's like if we're just recording an EP, like we'll record like the bass and the drums at the same time, or maybe bass drums and one guitar track, and then I'll go back and do overdubs. But sometimes when we do like full lengths, we'll do like piece by piece by piece, just because like the tones, like playing in a room together, like each sound bleeds into each other and can kind of make it sound jumbled sometimes. So like, with like shorter releases, we'll just be like, whatever, let's just get this done, 2 songs, who cares, kind of thing. But like I said, full length, we want to like sit down with it and like make sure
have like a good product.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome.
I guess to kind of wrap this up a little bit, because I'm not sure how much time we have left on camera. If you could name 3 bands you'd like to open up for, past or present,
I would say one, Throbbing Gristle, just because like, you know, they're like the forefathers of like industrial or experimental music. Like they have a huge influence on us, like with the noise elements, like just like the like pounding rhythms and stuff like that. I think that would be awesome. Love to open up with Napalm Death, even though they still tour. Like it would just be, you know, they're the forefathers of grind or whatever. And I mean, we played a festival with them recently, but it was on separate days, but to open up for Gizm, like that's one of our favorite bands ever. And seeing them live, like their first show out of Japan ever, was like honestly like one of the best things I've ever seen in my entire life.
Did it go like crazy? Like did you like try and light anything on fire or anything?
No, it was not that crazy, but it was just like the presence they gave off was just so cool. It was just like, holy crap, I can't believe I'm seeing Gizm.
like when I saw Darren Gray, it was kind of like that.
Yeah.
The presentation was there, the visual value.
Yeah.
It was there, and it was incredible.
And you can tell that they're truly like still punk dudes. Like, and just all the cool backdrops they would have. They had like old sexy stuff from like the 60s mixed with like psychedelic and like surgical footage and stuff playing behind them the whole set. It was awesome.
Well, that's all we got for you right now. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.